40. 319.
I got him.
Kill.
Rodgers now on first down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
All day, every day, any day. Rush in. Rush in. Say.
On 2nd down, Love. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
I'm coming. Take 30. Zoom. 44 is the mic. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's complete downfield, out left to his running back. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 37.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. On first down, here's Love. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Bryce Love, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hurry.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Philip Lindsay. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers now going to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Rodgers now to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Ship. Watch the ship. And
faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards the pickup there. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Rashawn Gary providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Shedding the tackler, that gives him some room. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A first half update now from Philadelphia. And the Eagles out in front early. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Get 300. Get 300. Hey, exit. Mike Bobo. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
The 3rd year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Love. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Right. He's down right here. He's down on the right. Down on the right. 4 down. 4 down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Love. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Love. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he'll get nothing out of that one. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Well, the Broncos had 15 4th down conversions last year, most in the NFL, and they're going here. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 92 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call. Run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back. And sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Once again, they come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, stand off. Let's go.
Clock will try again on 2nd down. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Denver. 49 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Use the mic. Use the mic. Check the out. Check the out.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Packers' 23-yard line.
Come on, set. 15, line it. 15 line.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Step.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyler Fackrell gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Hey, Haywood. Rock it. Let's go. Get.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lott. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Broncos 1st down.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Ready.
Clock now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, Charlie.
44, Mike, 44.
On 3rd down, Lott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Mike part two. I know he ain't got it. Check 50.
From the 27, Rodgers looking deep for Adams. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Watch the run, watch the run. Get 300, get 300.
44 to Mark.
On second down, it's Love, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
36. Watch twist. Watch twist. Check 31. Check 31. Check.
Lock to throw on second down. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can't stop me.
3rd and 6.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A final shot before half for Locke. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking for Sanders here on the deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one good for 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
On first down, it's Lenzy, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on second down. Lock. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
44 to Mike. Defense,
To throw on third down. Lock. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Lock now, 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Dancing to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. It's Lock. And they're going to get him. They bring him down with a sack back at the 16-yard line. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Lock working out of the gun. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start the drive with Love here. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
2nd and 12 at the 5-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Mike 52. Mike 52. Trick pass. Trick pass.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here.
Let's go. Do it.
1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Undercut. Recon, 132 fighter. Safety cream. Watch. Gone. Hey, echo.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Block. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The result of 1st down is a quick slant gets him 14.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line. How dare you,
They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey, and shutting him off, now open field. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Hatch it. Do.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke. It's complete on a bubble screen. That's Spencer. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Look at me. Door.
From the gun, it's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 8-3. Hey.
Move.
Get ready.
Now Locke. That's complete right around the 8. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
44, Mike, 44.
Hard. 6 Alpha.
Lock now on 3rd and goal. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point from McManus is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. This is Love. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Forced out to his left. Fights off the defender. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And able to find Garcon. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Bring it.
Here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Check 26, check 26.
On the draw, this is Love. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Hey, 88.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within one score.
Yeah, that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the fourth quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A big spot now for the rookie Locke. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The Broncos pick up their 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or
a pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Locke trying again after the pick six. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Throwing again on second down. Locke. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Buchanan, 58. Yeah, this. Let's go, D, let's go.
On 1st down, Love. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's brought down. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they take a knee.
Rogers on the keeper. It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Rogers on the keeper. The play lost a yard.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Packers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a